Hey, good morning, everybody. My name's Peter. I'm happy to be here with you this morning. And on this day after Thanksgiving, first let's do a sound check. I want to make sure everybody can hear me, as we got a different show today. I'm running the show solo. Yeah, you can hear me. Excellent. Out on YouTube land, you can hear me. Yeah, we've got... Actually, it's not just going to be me. I've decided that this is a face so nice, maybe you need to see it twice. So look here, we can have double me. You can get me from two different angles. It's like Peterception. Here, I can move this over. Look at that. See, we can do it. So there you go. So Peter, how was your Thanksgiving? Oh, it was great, awesome. Thanks so much for asking. Yeah, we had a pretty quiet Thanksgiving. Didn't do much. You know, being Canadian, we didn't really celebrate. Anyways. Just having some fun. But see, it's me and me. I'll get to do both roles today. Hopefully you guys are doing well. It is a short week, of course, with the holiday yesterday. And today the markets are only open until 1 p.m. So we only have half a day of fun here. That usually means that the volume is going to drop off relatively quickly after the open. We should still get some good trading at the open, but usually by around 11:30, things go very quiet, right? And volumes drop off, volatility dries down, and we just go flat. Now, I can't say for sure that's what's going to happen. That's often what occurs in these days. But if you know it, you can trade against it and make sure that you protect yourself. As you would expect on this sort of pseudo-holiday, there's really not a lot happening on the economic calendar. The only thing that's happening today is that we got the Chicago PMI at 9:45 a.m. That's expected to be a non-event, and like I mentioned, the markets close at 1. If I check the gappers list, we're starting to get a few things, and when I first called this up, there was nothing on the list, absolutely nothing. So it's good to see that there's a couple of things on the list right now. And we can go with that and check out and see what's moving based on those actions or those activities right there. So with that, why don't we get going and start taking a look at some of the things that are gapping. I've got to just get all my screens going here. So bear with me one second. Okay, here we go. Okay, I think I've got some charts. I'm starting to figure it out. Let's go to the gappers and we'll start to find out what's going on out in the world. And first, playing with laptops and computers. What's going on here? Oh no, I broke my keyboard. Okay, first thing on the list, we have SMX. SMX is up on this list. And it's looks like it is up significantly, 80% this morning, with 3.3 million shares traded. Wow, this has got to be something like some sort of oh my God. This is tough. I forgot how tough it is doing everything all on your own. Okay, this is a biotech is what I'm trying to say. I assume it's a biotech, but it's not. This is a Security Matters PLC. What the heck is going on? This is a company out of Ireland. Looks like they've set up a new partnership. And they are investing in gold. What the heck? What the heck is going on? You're right. I'm showing a chart. Let's show a chart. How about that? SMX. Here it is. Looking on the daily chart, obviously it's gapping up, but clearly this has had a rough run. I mean, look at SMX. And they've also clearly had some splits. This stock, of course, based on the chart as it's displaying, used to be a $40,000 stock. Absolutely not. Really what's happening is that it must have done some reverse splits to lead us to the current price. And look at that. I mean, this thing has just been trending towards zero forever. And looks like SMX is just, I mean, yeah, they're up 80%, but it's 80% from something where they're down like 98, 99% over the last couple of years, it looks like. So they are... I don't know. They've basically got, according to their website, they're building with identity technology at the precise moment the sector needs it. Sure, whatever. I don't believe you. Volume is decent today. Look, it's in play. I can't argue that. It's absolutely moving, but I can't imagine this is going to trade well. I would bet that this is going to be one of those stocks that, the moment that the market opens, it's just going to go flat and all the excitement will be right out of it. We'll find out. Look, I'll put it here just because it's moving so high, so much, but I don't really think it's going to be a good trading opportunity. So let's move to the next one on the list, which is SDNK. And we've seen SanDisk before, not often though, and I'm surprised. It seems to be, this often happens when you get holidays. I get a lot of the weird companies that sort of, not that the company's weird. If you work for SanDisk or love their, products, I don't mean to offend you, but it's the unusual ones, the ones that don't normally appear. Now, in this case, SanDisk is trading a much lower volume. We're only talking under 400,000 shares, and it's up about 5%. So notice how much we drop, right? From up 80, 90%, all the way down to only being up about 5%. So, yeah, it sort of shows that there's really not a lot happening, not a lot in play this morning. Looks like they are going to be joining the S&P 500. So they got the nod to be able to join that index. That's always good for a stock. It means that there's going to be more people looking to buy them and putting them on their list. Obviously, they need to get included in all of the market tracking ETFs and a lot of the other related funds. So that's good news. Is it going to trade today? Unlikely. If I look at the average daily volume here, it does get some volume. It trades about 15 million shares, it looks like, on the average day. But if I'm looking at most of these candles, they're pretty modest. So I don't particularly expect this to move. Not something I'm going to be looking at. Next on our gappers list for this morning, you can see we got a couple of stuff that are a little more familiar, right? We're getting into some of the crypto-related stocks with CleanSpark, and I see the Circle of Internet, Coin, Mara, MSTR, right? So we got a whole bunch of stuff on this list that are all related. So we might as well take a look at the top one here with CLSK, and CleanSpark is here. CleanSpark is up about 4% this morning on just under 1 million shares, and it frankly, still doesn't look that good. Look at these candles, right? This is sort of big overlapping stuff here. Volume, I mean, it had some volume at 8 a.m., but ever since it's been very flat with only a couple of thousand shares traded. I've got to imagine this is probably due to a move in crypto, so let's find out. I haven't looked at crypto prices yet this morning. Let's see what they're doing. Crypto this morning is Bitcoin. Oh, look at that. It's back over 90. Currently trading at $91,749. And it looks like some of the other related offerings are up as well. Solana, Tether, and Ethereum also gapping higher. So it looks like they had a good Thanksgiving. They bulked up with some turkey and managed to move higher. It's not a bad move, actually, because remember, they were sitting around 87,000, right, on Wednesday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Now they've just sort of popped up yesterday up to the 91 and been holding it for the last, looks like last 14, 16 hours or so. So we'll see. If it can hold there, that means you could basically pick your favorite, right? Whether you like CleanSpark, whether you like Mara or Coin, they're all sort of trade typically, similarly. I have to admit that CleanSpark seems to be one of the better movers and better volume players in the last little while. Still don't think it's going to make my list. I don't love it. On the list, I also saw Micron, and Micron Technology here was up. Now, it's got 470,000 shares. It's up 2.9%, but look at this pre-market action. It really isn't all that great. That being said, I do like where it sits on the daily. It's had a sort of a quiet move up, right? While I've been paying attention to AMD, right, which has had a big move up and has been hanging out at this over $200 level. And of course, NVIDIA, which has just been a constant mover, a lot choppier on the chart, but a lot better mover overall. I find that there's a couple like Micron that have just sort of made these quiet moves, or at least quiet from my point of view, because I just haven't been paying attention. So this morning, is there anything particular that's moving Micron? It doesn't really look like it. They... see if they get some. There is some animal positivity out there. A couple of articles saying that they think that Micron is undervalued and that there's potential upside. I mean, you see those types of articles all the time, so I don't usually pay a lot of attention to them. Just looking to see if there's anything else going on. Checking the old Twitter sphere, the stock twits out there to see if anybody's had conversations. A few things, bullish positions take if people are taking on Micron, but other than that, yeah, I don't really love it. What had been moving, I noticed over sort of the break we had yesterday, was once again some movement in gold and silver prices. Gold is again starting to climb up. And remember when it sort of mid-October dropped from the highs, sort of made that bounce, came down again. Everybody was wondering, is it over for gold? And it doesn't look like. Silver, even better, right? Similar move, right? Where it hit the high, came back, retested. We're right back at the all-time high levels here on silver. So it doesn't really strike me as something like, it's not easy to day trade. I see Chris in the chat room is mentioning, what is NATH? Is that a Nathan's? What the heck is this? Nathan's Famous. Okay. That is an interesting stock. Let's see where it sits on the daily. Oh, here we go. Daily chart. Oh, it's a little bit off. What does Nathan's Famous Inc. do? They're a restaurant chain. What is it? It sounds familiar, but I can't picture. I don't think I've ever gone. Is this like a southern U.S. type thing? Be a lot of change in the southern U.S. that I don't run across a lot. Anyways, hot dogs? Is that what they make? Hot dogs. Oh, okay. Hot dogs at Coney Island. let's invest in hot dogs. Why not? Sounds like a good American thing to do. Anyways, that was. I thought this was going to be like silver related. We were totally off target, but that's why it sounds familiar. Now I can picture it. Anyways, he was saying at all-time high, but it's not at all-time high. That's what was throwing me off too, Alan, because I was looking at the chart here, and it was certainly down from the highs that it even had set back in June, July, which are significantly higher. Great, look at this mountain pass on a daily chart, though. Anyways, we digress. I know something I'm going to take a look at. The average daily volume is it on an average day it trades 85,000 shares. That is just not enough for day trading. So not remotely. So I'm not going to look there. But silver futures, yeah, like I said, when I look at silver, I look at SLV. That's sort of the ticker that I prefer because it gets good volume. It trades relatively liquid. But hey, if you want silver, go for it. I like to stick to the typical stocks that I tend to trade. I don't tend to get into the precious metals, but a lot of people do it. So yeah, I'm trying to watch a lot of feeds. I see people say Peter's missing it. I am missing, I'm sure, a lot of stuff because it's there's too much happening. All right. So from a gap up perspective, if we look at our gap up list, as I said, a lot of crypto on there. Basically, we've got Micron, which is maybe a potential. Again, I don't see a real good reason for the move this morning, but maybe I'll take it and I will put it on my list. I have my typical stuff. Maybe I'll throw it down here on my secondary list just to see if Micron ends up getting a move, and if it does, we'll be ready for it. We'll at least set some levels for it a little bit later. How about the gap downside? Well, there's only one thing. Look at this on the gap down over here, and that's Oracle. And it just jumped on it on the list relatively recently. I noticed down about 2.8%. It looks like about 8 o'clock. Let me go to a 1 minute chart you guys can see here. 8 o'clock, it had this big move down, which is what once it popped it on the list here. And I wonder what prompted that. Let's see if I can find some news. Yeah. Okay. So Oracle faces rising debt risk as Morgan Stanley flags credit concerns. Well, this is a big change, wasn't it? Where the sky was the limit and Oracle was feeling all happy just a couple of months ago. Now it looks like the analysts are digging deeper and they're saying maybe they've overextended themselves with all of this investment into AI, and their credit may be at stake, or at least their top tier credit rating. So Oracle apparently recently issued about $18 billion in bonds, which they were doing to finance a new data center. And they also took out a $38 billion loan. So Morgan Stanley has taken a look at this and said, I'm not sure. There may be some challenges. So might be worth watching Oracle. I like Oracle better than I thought. It is now under $200, and I think there's a lot more room. Just look at this daily chart. Look how much room we have to go. I mean, it already got through that big gap that it set back when it jumped up in September, which was essentially from the 240 all the way up to the $300 price range. And now we're all the way back under 200 again. You know, in hindsight, if I was more of a swing trader, which I don't do, there was a couple of short opportunities up here on Oracle because it seemed unsustainable, that gain. But we've seen companies go up and not come back. NVIDIA is a great example where that just happens, right? And then it can be impossible to stay on top of it. So I think Oracle might be worth watching today. Like I said, on a day where you can expect relatively low, at least lower than average volumes on a lot of things, Oracle seems to be in play. Its volume is good so far this morning. I think it's worth keeping an eye on. So I'm going to put it on my secondary list here, and I will watch Oracle and just in case it gives me some good trading opportunities. Everybody out there on YouTube, I appreciate you joining, and appreciate if you could give us an old thumbs up. It always helps the channel, and for me as I'm running solo. As I said, why am I here? Well, I'm not totally alone. Remember, I'm here with me. Hold on, let's bring me in there. There I am. See, I'm here with myself because Carlos, like a lot of our team, are heading off to Thailand, and I am very jealous. I agreed to stay back and man the ship here. Help keep the house in order, but it can be tough, right? When everybody's jumping on a plane, they're going out to have fun. Anybody that follows social media with some of our moderators, Paris has been posting for the last week now. He's already there and having some fun. He's run into some of our other team. They had a couple of adventures together, so it's pretty. It's always tough to watch that, especially I love to travel, and I haven't been anywhere in 6 months, over 6 months now. So that's a long time for me to stay put anywhere. So it's been a while since I've not traveled at all for that long of a period. So anyways, but here we are. We're going to have some fun. Hopefully we can make some money so I can fund my travels over the next year then. So I give myself something to look forward to. Guys, as I said, I went through the gappers list pretty fast today, right? Because we had a bunch of the crypto-related stuff. We had a couple of random things. And we had Oracle. Look at this. There's a gold stock now, AU, which is that Anglo American? I always forget which one AU is. Anglo Gold. So gold up here just gapped down. They just got enough volume. That's why they just appeared on the list, going over the 200,000 shares. But look at this. Look at the price action. Look how spotty that is. That's not going to give you some good trading. So, all right. So what do you guys like? If you have other things that we should watch, let me know. We'll call them up here. Chris, you're saying that's not a ticker. AGQ. AGQ. This is an ETF for, it's a silver ETF. Okay, so this is a silver ETF that you like to watch, I guess. It looks very similar. If I look at it on the daily chart, it looks very similar to the SLV that I was watching. The only thing I would say is SLV, look at this average volume. It gets about 24 million shares a day on average, whereas this AGQ you just mentioned only seems to get about 1.8 million shares. So, it's not necessarily a problem, but I like to stay with the most liquid stocks I can. So I want to see a good amount of trading volume. I just want to make sure there's always somebody there willing to take the other side of my trade. So just think about that. Sometimes it's not all about the leverage, right? If it's heavily leveraged but nobody's trading it, that could be problematic because you can get stuck in a trade without the ability to unload your shares. So again, it may or may not happen. Just be aware, be warned. All right, I see in the room people are talking about Hood. Robinhood is often a good bet, especially when we get a change in crypto prices. There's so much more, right? They've got a very large platform trading all sorts of different asset classes, and they've actually been a pretty decent mover over the last little while with 30 million shares on average per day. It's a pretty good bet, and I do like the way the stock generally moves. Pre-market, I don't know, looks okay, doesn't look exceptional. All right, look at a 5-minute chart. Oh, let's zoom in on a 5-minute chart. It's going okay, but it's not going great. It's a decent candidate, nothing wrong with it. So if you like it, let's keep an eye on it. How about out there on YouTube? What are you guys watching? Anything that you want me to take a look at? I don't see anything here. Clearly, we've got some new joiners, so they're asking what my jersey is. If you haven't seen that jersey, let's see. Can I get a? You're looking at this one here, right? That's a cycling jersey, Carlos Sastre from 2008, and it's crooked, but you probably can't see that. Anyways, signed, autographed, and I was there to personally receive it in Australia from him. I used to work for the company that's listed there called CSC, Computer Sciences Corporation. So way back in the day. They don't even exist anymore. They trade under DXC these days. So, all right, enough of that. So let me know what stocks. PLTR, that's always a good one to take a look at as well. PLTR this morning, pretty much average volume, I would say. The 5-minute chart looks okay. The daily is sort of interesting in that they're still in. Remember back last Thursday, so just over a week ago, we had that big down day, right? And a lot of stocks have been trying to remake that ground or recover that ground. And PLTR is one of those that sits in that range. Unlike some of the others, like NVDA, that hasn't even made a dent on it. Or Tesla is the other one that we were looking at that actually has managed to get over it, right, and recover all of that. So a lot of different stocks are in different states depending on where they've been. PLTR, decent candidate. We watch it on a regular basis. I got no problem with it. I don't see any particular reason for it to move this morning, but it could. And if it does, I know you'll be ready, and you'll let me know what it does. Right here this morning, as we sit at $167 on PLTR. Yeah, it's some good move to the upside if it can break through that range. what was the open of this candle? Open was 172.10. So that would be an interesting area if this thing was going to break through. So, yeah, what else have we got? I sort of in passing mentioned NVIDIA and AMD. I think AMD has been giving me, personally, some great trading. Like, it really has. And I have just got some great trade opportunities on it. I don't know if today it's going to do anything, but I'm always ready, always watching. So if it does, I'll let you guys know, because this morning we're going to try and find something to trade and be mature about it. Which means if I don't see anything that hits my trading style or was within my comfort zone, I may not trade today. Right? I'm not going to worry about it. It's a half day. Like I mentioned, volumes are likely to taper off pretty quickly. I don't need to force anything. I don't want to get myself into a bad situation where I'm down and then I'm just desperately going to try and claw that back with only half a day to do it. Right? So, because by 1 o'clock, all the crying's over. So we don't want to. You don't want to put yourself in a situation where you're going to be chasing the loss all morning. So. All right. That's pretty much what I've got. I don't know what you guys did with your Thanksgiving, but I can tell you, I mean, it wasn't Thanksgiving for me, right? Here in Canada, we had Thanksgiving back in October. Yesterday, I acted like I pretended I was a plumber. I had to install some a new faucet in my and taps in my basement. I got it done. I got to admit, it was probably a lot messier and took a lot longer than it would have taken anybody who knew what they were doing. But I got it done. I felt happy with myself about that. Got a lot of stuff done off of my my personal list, my to-do list. So a good busy day yesterday. And for us here, really, we're just waiting for, as winter starts to set in, we're just, I wait for December 1st because I have an absolute view that you do not set up Christmas decorations or lights before December 1st. If you want to, by all means. Here's the Peter's rant for this morning. Here, old man me will go say, if you want to set up lights and stuff in your house, by all means, but don't subject me to it. I like Christmas to be special, and it's not special if the things are up for 3 months, in my opinion. So therefore, let's limit it. Let's limit it to the month that, in which Christmas resides. And I'm happy to go December 1st. I'll turn the lights on. We usually start to decorate the house, whatever that first weekend is in December. I don't know if my wife's going to want to be doing that this weekend or if we'll wait till next weekend. And then, of course, you got to get your tree and get that set up and everything. So, but that's gonna happen later. So, no tree yet. It's too early for a tree, in my opinion. But it's funny because I've got some friends where they were like, like November 1st, they were setting up the tree right after Halloween. I'm like, okay, you do you then. It's your house. Who am I to say no? Have trees all year if you want. Just don't make me watch them. Don't make me look at them. All right. There's a light rant for this morning. For a stock perspective, like I said, I think it's going to be fairly quiet this morning. That's why I'm just going to stick to the things I know. Tesla's another one of those that is always on my list, as you guys can see there at the bottom of the screen. Tesla, AMD, and NVDA always on my list. I'm going to keep an eye on Oracle and Micron as well. And we'll see how it goes. I'm hoping the Open gives us some interesting challenges. The other thing I should mention, I said, like, volumes tend to taper off quickly on days like this. At the Open, we can actually get increased volatility. You could get some outsized moves today because there is likely to be lower overall volume. And without some of the the big money, the big dogs barking out there, if they're not playing, that can give bigger moves, right? Because you don't have all of the heavy volume sort of keeping things in check. We normally get good price action and movement at the Open anyways. Sometimes I've found on these days you can get outsized moves, but they're slightly less predictable. So that's the downside, right? The upside is you could get a big move. The downside is it won't be as predictable as it might be on a regular day, and it's likely to end a little bit earlier in the day than if it was going on a regular day. So we'll again always find out together as the market opens and the bell rings. I said I'm going to play cautious, right? If I don't see a setup or have something that I really love, I'm not going to start jumping at things. I'm not going to start chasing things around because I just don't think that's never proven good for me. I usually just give money away. And why would I want to give money away? RBH is asking, is the market open on Monday? Regular week next week, right? It's all back to regular hours. Nothing unusual about the market trading schedule for next week. So, if you want to take advantage of Black Friday, how many of you are shopping? Are you doing some online shopping right now as you're listening? Maybe. You're going to spend some money instead of make money? I never have found the Black Friday sales to be very good. It always feels like they just raised the prices in the 2 weeks before just so they can lower them. And then they, of course there's some deep discounts, but it's on stuff you don't want anyways, or at least in my opinion. I mean, I don't want a lot of that crap that they're always advertising and selling. But, there are some good deals out there. And one of those good deals, for example, is our Black Friday sale. How about that for a segue? If you're interested in our Black Friday here, how about double me in Black Friday? So there you go. If you're interested in joining us here at Bear Bull Traders, we do have a Black Friday sale going on. As you can see, we got it on the right-hand side. We got a very special Thanksgiving offer. We got a one-time price, very heavily discounted, 60% off the elite membership for Bear Bull Traders, and you get the full access to everything we have at Bear Bull Trading, all of the courses, all of the training material, and of course the live chat room. So if that's something that you're interested in, by all means, click now, because I never know how long it's going to end. In fact, Andrew, here we've got a countdown timer, which we don't normally have. So it looks like you have less than 3 days to take advantage of that. So by Monday, this will be gone. So if you want it, grab it now. By the way, if you're in an existing membership, you can take advantage of this offer. You will never lose any time. It just gets added on to the end of your membership. So you can take advantage of that discount right now. I know, Allie, isn't it cool? I've got 2 cameras going. See, I can talk to you over here in this camera, or I can talk to you over here in this one. Isn't that? I find that weird. Anyways, there you go. So, the beauty of technology. This is me. This is what happens when you leave me alone with no adults in the room to take care of things. All right, so there you go. So there's our there's our Black Friday sale. If you're interested in taking advantage of it, consider that. The other thing to consider is our boot camp. Our Peak Capital Trading Boot Camp is a great way to accelerate your trading journey. This boot camp is just chock full, 3 months worth of educational activities. Here's what the weekly schedule looks like. So as you can see, we keep you busy. If you're going to join the boot camp, I would say don't do it if you're just learning trading. It's best if you have at least a couple of months, ideally maybe 6 months to a year worth of trading, and you really want to accelerate what you're doing. You say, I just don't know what's not working, or I just can't seem to get my discipline in order. Then this boot camp is going to help you drastically. If you don't even know what your strategy looks like and you have no idea how to use the tools, you're going to spend a lot of time during this boot camp configuring that, and frankly, you're not going to get full value out of this. But if you're ready for that accelerated journey, then by all means, consider the Peak Capital Trading Boot Camp. It's really a great intensive 3-month course. I've been with it and helping support it since the beginning, and really enjoy being able to mentor and lead a number of our traders as they sort of improve their trading strategies and effectiveness. So consider it. Go to peakcapitaltrading.com and you can get all the information on the boot camp. And by the way, back to these sales, we do have this best value offer over here on the left-hand side that has the boot camp included. So you get that full boot camp, you get a year access to Bear Bull Traders, and of course you get that $50,000 funded account, which you always get if you're joining the boot camp. So if that's of interest to you, consider it. It's a great offer, and if you really want to make it happen, now is the time. Ali, as you're saying, it's really hard to find a strategy. I agree. That is the big challenge. In fact, we have courses that take you through how to identify a strategy and how to get started on one. A lot of people think that, once you have to find a strategy and then you stick with it for the rest of your life. That's not necessarily the case. You can get a strategy that... Here, let's do this for a second, because this camera's freaking me out. There you go. Now you can just have me frozen there like that. Finding a strategy, what we do through the boot camp is help you identify one that you can use to build good discipline and build good habits. Once you've done that, then you can go forth and identify multiple strategies. I actually have 6 different strategies that I primarily focus on, and they happen at different times of the day. And that actually I find is a very good thing, because once you've sort of done this for a while and you can build a full suite of strategies, then I have strategies to trade in different market conditions and at different stock positions, and that gives me sort of the ability to trade all day, not always trying to look for the same thing. So consider that as you get set up. Dwayne, thank you very much for posting that link, as it helps everybody get started. All right, guys. By the way, on Monday, I'm really looking forward to having... Carlos is going to be back. I mean, he's going to be back, but it's interesting. We're going to trade roles. Right, so I'll be running the software like I'm doing now, which is normally what Carlos does, and he's going to be joining from Thailand. That's the plan anyway, so unless something goes wrong with his travel or the internet is just not allowing him to do that, then I will we'll have him here, and he'll be on the show, and you won't have to deal with screens that look like this. We'll have a live Carlos. All right. So, anything else that you guys want to take a look at as we get through this morning? Notice that it's pretty late, and a lot of our moderators in the chat room, they are not here because they're traveling. I said so many of the team are winging their way across the world to get to Thailand. Oh my God, when I looked at Thailand flights, one of the things that I have to admit dissuaded me. As much as I grant you it's a first world challenge, it was like 22. The 22 hours was the shortest travel that I could find. And that doesn't even include your time at the airport in prep for the flight, right? So, I was like 22 to 40 hours worth of travel to get to Thailand from where I am here in Canada. And I thought, oh my God, that is just, look, it's all doable. It's not like we have to get on a boat and it's going to take a week like it would have, just a few decades ago. But it's just a lot of flying. So I used to fly to Australia, back and forth from here to Australia, and it was a lot less because there was more direct flights. And I'm okay if it's just one or two long flights, I can handle that. But when you have to sort of puddle jump, 4 different flights, that's when it just gets annoying after a period of time, right? Changing flights, new airport, wait, boarding, the whole thing all over again. Ugh, it's too much work. It's too frustrating. So that wasn't the real reason why I didn't go, but it was, it was a contributing factor. Otherwise, I might have just last minute said, "The heck with it, I'm just buying a ticket and I'm jetting off." But in any event. All right, guys, I have got my list for the time being. Like I was pointing out, I'm going to be looking at a couple of things. You can see them there at the down at the bottom of the screen. Tesla, NVDA, and AMD, I think, are always good candidates. Micron, still moving here this morning. The volume is relatively low. I would like to see more volume. We just hit 500,000 shares. As you can see, it's still very spotty, although it's getting a little more frequent. And Oracle is definitely in play. It's the one I like best, actually, so far this morning. I'm thinking, especially if people are sort of souring on it, that big move we saw at 8 o'clock may give another down opportunity. I'd love for this thing to pull back towards or to the $200 mark and then sell off from there. So we'll see if that happens. This is a NYSE stock, I notice here, which means it trades on the New York Stock Exchange. And for those that don't know, we have 2 primary exchanges, right, in North America where you look for stocks on: the NASDAQ and the New York Stock Exchange. And the NASDAQ tends to trade fairly fluid. When the opening bell rings, you can start to trade it. The NYSE, the New York Stock Exchange, trades a little bit differently, and because it has sort of an older school market maker methodology, and those market makers sort of drive the volume, and the volume doesn't always happen the very first minute. Like I always recommend, you want to see a big volume candle, sort of like you see at 8 o'clock here, come in after the open, and it may not happen right at 9:30. You'll know it when you see it, right? It may not happen at 9:30 right away. It might not happen at 9:31. Sometimes it can be 2 to 3 minutes into the market. So wait for that volume, because this thing can change direction radically once the volume hits, and it's dangerous to get in ahead of that volume. So there you go. But I will be watching Oracle. And with that, why don't we just move to setting some levels? So if I'm watching Oracle, what am I going to be looking for? Well, I already mentioned the whole dollar number, right? So I'm definitely I'll put a line there, but I don't really need it because it's the whole dollar, 200, right? These big whole dollars are where things like to sort of go to, and they find sort of resistance and or support depending which direction they're heading them from. Resistance, by the way, is normally if they're heading up to a level. Support is when they're going down to a level. So they would either bounce off of it in a supporting fashion, or they like ceiling resistance, right, where they can't break through. So I think that $200 level is good on Oracle. Let me go to a 60-minute chart here, see what else I've got. I don't see any huge areas of interest. I noticed that, I've got that 200 that I just put in here. I noticed that there was some trading happening, looks like earlier this week. Down here, I'll put that here for notice. 197, it looks like, is where it had a little bit of support earlier. I'm not sure that that's going to come into play? It might, but that might give us a place where if it's going to move lower, where we might find it hesitating or bouncing off of before it continues lower, or maybe even goes higher, which isn't great because it's only a couple of bucks away from the current price, so it doesn't give us a huge range of movement. But hopefully, it'll push through that and go lower. So really, if I look at Oracle, let's go back to a daily on Oracle. I'm not seeing a lot else that I love other than the top of this gap here, which is back down here, this candle, the low is 188.88. Interesting. So I'll put a level right at the 188.88. Make sure that I've got that on my chart so I could see, once again, stay awareness. Now that gives us a little more range if it moves down to that area. I'll watch it, and then you got the top of the gap. So I like to mark the two sides of the gap. This was back in June where it gapped here. So if we move back into that range, I can see we actually did 2 days ago and then popped back out of it. So yeah, good area to watch. Micron was the other one that was in play that we're going to be watching for today. In this case, it seems to be strong. And it's moving slightly higher. The higher levels, definitely there's an area of interest up here around 243, it looks like, that I would keep an eye on. I'm going to put it up here at 243. Let's look at a 60-minute chart, see if I can get more granularity on that. Yeah, it actually moved this down to a couple of dollars all the way down here to about 240.50. So I can keep an eye on it because it looks like it got some support there. This may become a ceiling if we're able to move higher. And then to the downside, well, I've got the highs and lows, by the way, the previous 2 days. Those are these red lines. Let's look at a daily chart. You can see a little bit better. See these red dotted dashed lines? Right, these mark the high and low of the previous 2 days, so I already got them on my chart. That'll help protect me on the downside as I'm looking for levels. On the usuals, well, you know that AMD, like I've mentioned, is one of my favorites. I always have lots of levels marked on AMD. In this range, it looks interesting to me that I was looking at this earlier. Right down here, 203 was definitely an area where I saw a lot of shares change hands, and I'm thinking if we get below that, then we're likely to go down to these types of lows where it really set these low at 195. Now, that would be a $20 move from where the price is today. I don't know. I don't know that we'd get there. I hope not. I actually like to save that price action for Monday if that's something that's going to happen. If we go to the top side, well, there's all sorts of levels. Up here, 220. Right here is a pretty good one at 224. Let's see, what is the low? 224.60 there, 224.70 here. So I'm going to put this at 224.60 just to keep an eye on it as it comes to it. That would definitely be an area, I think, of strong resistance if we go to the top side. Again, that's a fair range away. That's about $9 from the current price. So I'm not sure that, I don't think we'd move that far today. It's possible, but not likely. So those are good levels for me on AMD. NVDA, well, look, we've been around NVIDIA so much, you can see I've got all sorts of levels marked over time that cover most of the key areas of trading support. To the downside, you can see I've got 176.36, 171.75 marked. To the upside, I've got 183.40, 184.50, and all the way up here, basically 190. So we'll keep an eye on all of those levels. Tesla is another one that I always like to look at, and it's got so many levels I've got pre-marked. You know, I got this price completely surrounded. So we're currently trading at about 427. And to the downside, you know, around 416.37, you can see I've got a level. And to the top side, 439.85. Both of those are in play because Tesla moving $10 is absolutely, you know, much more likely on a stock like Tesla, which is a $400 stock, than I think it would be on AMD. Although AMD's been known to do it. I mean, I've managed to catch good $10, $12 moves on it, so I like that. The other one I see you guys mentioning again is silver. Yeah, the silver prices are continuing to push higher here. Let's zoom right in. The 1 minute chart, it's going up. So look, if you like to trade it, someone mentioned AGQ as an accelerated ETF that you can watch. I like SLV, right, which you can watch here because it gets good volume and it's moving well. Like we were showing you earlier, it is at these all-time high levels. So silver is trading silver is good right now as it's moving. So I don't typically trade these ETFs, but if you don't mind it, then by all means, right? It's in play. So you know what? Maybe I should put that on our list. We should watch it just to see. Maybe I'll put that as a popcorn stock, just in case it decides to move. I'll put it after our little popcorn signal symbol here. So if it does move, I can say, well, I was there. So there you go, adding silver to the list. Okay, that's what I've got for trading this morning. Whatever you guys are watching, I want you to be trading smart. Now, I'm honestly not sure who's going to be trading live in the Bear Bull Trading chat room today, because I don't know who's traveling and I don't know who's here. If I look right now, I mean, I don't see very many people in the room. Brian's there, so hopefully Brian is going to be able to trade live. I assume he will be. And I see Gary's started to put his list. So thank you, Gary, because I don't see any other mods getting their list in yet. So, but we'll keep an eye on that. We'll let you know in a couple minutes who's got their list up and going. I see you guys are talking about TSLL. Let's take a look at this. TSLL. I'm able to call it up. Rich T is saying that he's getting TSLL as an unknown ticker. This is another one of these ETFs, right? This is the tracking stock for Tesla. So if you don't want to trade Tesla directly, you can trade Tesla through these ETFs. TSLL is one, and then TSLS is another one. So they're long and short of the same thing. TSLL tends to be the one that people focus on. It's it's a lot cheaper, so your buying power goes farther. Of course, there's always options and things like that if you want to extend your buying power. I tend to just stick to the equities. I like to trade them directly, so that's why I would personally just stick to Tesla. But to what you were saying, Rich, I am not seeing a problem calling up TSLL. Seems to be active and working just fine on my side in the DAS platform. For anybody that's wondered, sometimes they wonder what charts we use. We use the DAS Trader Pro system. It is a legacy type system. It works under low latency scenarios, and it's very good if you're traveling, right? Because you don't need a super fast internet connection to make it work. That being said, I've got certain rules I've set for myself, like if the latency is more than 250 milliseconds, which is about a quarter second, I won't trade. But what matters is consistency, right? You don't want to see a latency that's jumping all over the place. In fact, a latency that jumps from 30 milliseconds to 100 to 30 to 100, I would trade with less confidence than I would if something was just sitting at 200 flat across. When I trade from home here, my latency is about 13 milliseconds. So that's what I typically look at. They're saying that it's in Atlas, so let's call up Atlas and see what it's doing here. Trading Terminal. If you aren't familiar with Atlas, by the way, in Trading Terminal, let's go to a screen here. We'll show you Trading Terminal. It's got there's my smiley face. But let's just call it up here. In Trading Terminal, you can go to the Atlas tool, and it shows you it's a market volume visualization tool, and it's one that really gives you an idea of sort of where volumes sit. You can see on the right-hand side here, this is where sort of the pre-market volumes sit, and it gives you an idea, is the stock likely to go higher or lower based on where the volume is sitting, where people are trying to create demand. It's basically your level 2 data, if you're familiar with that, but in a visualized format. So this is where they were saying if they try and call up TSLL, it says, yeah, you're right. It says unknown symbol not found. So it could be that the feed for these ETFs are not working in Trading Terminal this morning. So sometimes with the holidays, it can throw things off a little bit. Or remember on Friday, I don't know if you, I feel like it was last week, on Wednesday, before the Thanksgiving holiday, I was getting DAS notices that there was some industry-wide data issue with options, and they were having some issue there. So maybe that is Brian's saying there's a broad issue with CME data, so there you go. So that would make sense. So it's not particular to the trading terminal environment or platform. It seems like it's across all platforms. CME, which is the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, is the source of the data, and if they're having issues, then yeah, you're nobody's getting any data. So so it's something you want to look out for. Here in Trading Terminal, we always go here and we often check the calendar, right, to see what's happening on the economic events. Like I told you, the only thing today is the Chicago PMI. I didn't even mention the Fed balance sheet because it happens well after the market closes. Remember, market closes at 1 o'clock today, so you only have until 1 o'clock to trade. After that, everything's closed. And as you can see, there's really nothing on the earnings. Not a surprise. You're not going to get any earnings over the holiday. Nobody ever wants to, put their earnings up there on a day when there's going to be very few participants in the market. So, oh, look at this. CME hit by hours-long outage. Oh, wow, they've really had some issues. Longest outages in years, halting stocks, bonds, commodities, and currencies. Wow. Data center collapse at the CME. Okay, interesting. All right, so there you go. Thank you for pointing that out. Thank you for putting up that article that we can take a look at. Too much turkey. Yeah, they got the turkey fog. The computers have the turkey brain going on. So yeah, if futures are all halted, that's going to be interesting for the market as well, right? Because that means we don't have a full data set to play with. It doesn't mean that things aren't going to trade. If equities are still trading, I mean, that's going to go ahead. We're going to open here in about 8 minutes as normal, but it could create some erratic movement, especially when the futures click back on, assuming they do during this trading day. This could be very volatile, and be extra cautious. Now that I know that, right, it makes me think I want to be absolutely, triple cautious, because it might favor your trade, right? It might jump in your favor, or it might just spike against you, and that's going to be problematic. Oh, Mr. Pijo says they're not halted, but they did stop earlier. I see. So, but the data's not out there, and that data could still be problematic. Well, at least apparently it doesn't seem to be. Whatever it is, and any news like that, for me, it's just another reason to be extra cautious. So I'll take it and be careful with it. All right, I hope you guys are still having a good day. Again, whether you choose to trade today or not, I want to make sure that you're extra cautious. As Carlos would warn us, was he here? He would say you do not want to go into a weekend regretting the decisions you made today, right? Whatever you do, just trade with maturity, stick to your rules, and at least you can say, I traded to my strategy, whether they worked or didn't, right? You didn't just go break a bunch of rules and do a bunch of crazy stuff that may have made you money. Unfortunately, sometimes we get rewarded for bad behavior, but you certainly don't want to break your rules and lose money. That's not a good way to go in the weekend. That makes you a very grumpy person normally, and we don't like grumpy traders on the weekend, right? You want to be able to put things aside and go in without a care in the world. So there you go, just like Alex on the palm tree is apparently looking to do with the little dude. So there you go. All right, guys, I've got my list ready to go. Like I pointed out already, I'm going to be watching my usual NVIDIA, Tesla, and AMD. I'm also going to be watching Micron and Oracle. I'll put silver on a chart here just because everyone else seems to be watching it, and I'll keep an eye on it to see what it's doing. But I don't know how actively I'm likely to be trading it. But hey, I have not traded it yet, is maybe what I should say. Maybe today I'll see something I love, and it's going to be silver all the way for me. If so, well, then you'll be able to witness it here with me. So we'll see what happens. Okay. That's about everything I got. Let me bring in our moderators list. They're starting. It's going to be late, though. Let me tell you. Look, here's our moderators in the Bearable Traders chat room. They're starting to get some their list in. Brian's going to be watching Tesla, NVIDIA, AMD, and, of course, the SPY overall. Gary's going to be watching Coin and Tesla. So Brian is, as you can see his cameras. He's getting ready. He's not quite ready yet. You know how I know? The light's not on. So there, see, there you go. I give him the reminder. I know he can hear me. There it is. All right, the red light's on. That means the donuts are now hot. So you can. Ryan's ready to go in the chat room. We'll turn the chat room over to him. There's my 5-minute alarm. Let me know, and we'll make that happen. And I'll leave the mic to him. Brian, you have a great day in the chat room. I'll continue, of course, with all our friends on YouTube. And if there's any mods listening and you really, really want to join me, let me know. I can give you the link. You can jump up here and keep me company. All right, take care. Have a good morning, Brian. Maybe we'll rejoin again a little bit later. All right. We'll keep going here as we trade in YouTube. I'm seeing a few things popping. Tesla's dropping right now. Interesting. Tesla's dropping, whereas NVIDIA and my good buddy AMD are popping up here. That's interesting. What have we got? Some news? What news have we got? I think it's the futures restarting. According to this, the futures are just Are they restarting now? It doesn't have an exact time. I think this might be the, like I said, this is the type of thing I expect when you get the relinking, right, of different asset classes, especially with the outage that we heard of earlier at the CME. It makes sense that they're going to start popping back in here and moving stocks. So what did that do anything to Oracle? See, Oracle didn't really pay any attention. Not surprised, again, being a NYSE stock, it's less likely to move and happen like that. All right, so I got to put a couple of things on here that I'm going to watch. Over here, I'm going to put silver. I'm going to put Oracle. Oh. I got to wave to everybody in the chat room because apparently they're seeing me. All right. So, here we go. So what else? I'm going to watch Oracle. I'm going to watch Micron. I'm going to put it on one of my charts here, so we'll take a look at it. What else? Tesla. Yeah, it'll be interesting today to see what moves. How about Apple? I haven't looked at Apple today. What is Apple up to? Apple is not up to anything, really. Nothing interesting going on there. Yeah. Okay, I'm definitely going to be watching Oracle. Like I said, you know, the move I'm looking for is very structured. All right, so what I'm looking for is I'm going to be looking for a pop up to at least the VWAP, which currently sits at 199.60, maybe to 200. Okay, because that's the whole dollar number. If I see it falter on the level 2, meaning the price action stops and I see orders start to build on the bid side, which would be the downside, then I'd be willing to take this short. So I don't know if that doesn't happen, right? We don't get the pop-up and it just drops directly, or it pops higher than 200, then I'll probably be out. Completely aborted trade, right? So that's what I'm looking for on Oracle. I don't really have a setup for some of the other stuff, right? As you know, I like to watch NVIDIA and AMD. I don't know what they're going to do. NVIDIA I notice is dropping. It's interesting. AMD is actually moving a little bit higher here, whereas NVIDIA is dropping. There might be a play on NVIDIA too, especially with it dropping like this. If we can get a move back up to 180, right? I like the whole dollar number. It's just below VWAP, so I got a good consolidated range in here. If we can get a pop higher, same thing. I see loss of interest on the top side, and I see it a build of orders on the bid side. That might be an opportunity for me to take NVIDIA short. So I'll be watching that as well. I gotta bring my trading terminal up. Got to get my Atlas tool going. So because I want to be able to keep an eye on these things. Oracle, NVIDIA, not a lot of... Remember, on Oracle, there is a trick in that one that we've got to wait for the volume. we'll keep this on the screen because, again, if we see the volume, we know what we're looking for. We're going to definitely want to see that volume come in before we take any action. All right, that's what I'm looking for. Those are my trade setups going to the open. We're just a couple seconds away now. The opening bell's about to ring. There we go. There's the opening bell. Hopefully you guys could hear that. Let's see what we get today. Again, I'm not going to force anything. Oracle now has popped up. See how it went right up to this level I was talking about? Now, I haven't seen the volume, though, to support that yet. It did hit the area. This is exactly the move I was looking for, but I want to see it on volume because, again, when that volume hits, sometimes it can just take it in an unexpected direction. So I don't want to take a risk and do something silly. NVDA, NVIDIA didn't really pop all that much. I'm watching it. It didn't move as high as I want. And look at see how Oracle, see now we're getting the volume in Oracle. It came in a little bit late. We're almost at the end of the minute. Now we're starting to see that volume, and it actually pushed up higher than the 200. So remember I said that was one of the signals that maybe the Oracle isn't going to be set up the way I want, but I'm going to wait and see. I don't see a lot of orders on either the bid or the ask side, so I don't know which way this is going to go. But it does look like it's pushing higher. What's the market overall doing? The market overall is pushing higher, but not that aggressively. Yeah, Oracle's broken the setup that I was looking for, so no trade for me there. NVIDIA actually would have been the slightly better trade, where it did drop a little bit, but it didn't drop all that much. So, yeah, not a big move here at the open. Tesla, on the other hand, look at Tesla. Tesla just decided to go higher. I wonder if I should change the color of these, make it easier for you guys to see. Let's change these candles to, let's try and get an unobnoxious green. Oh, what, didn't I do that? Price, config, green. Oh, there we go. There we go. All right, now you guys, I think, can see the up candles a little bit better. So Tesla moving up, like I said. Oracle, yeah, again, Oracle didn't really do what I was looking for right at the open. Now it looks like it's getting a little bit of the drop. This is more the type of move that I was looking for. I'm not going to chase this trade, though, because it's past my good risk to reward measures. Oracle might move lower, but I'll have to wait and see. If it comes back and Oracle can retest the VWAP from the underside right up here, where it's actually hitting right now, that could be a potential short, but it also depends on where the market's going, and the market looks like it's pushing higher right now. When I say the market, by the way, I always look at two sort of, these are essentially ETFs, the SPY and the triple Qs, right? So I've got them on another screen. I keep an eye on the SPY and the triple Qs just to see where they're going, and right now, they're both pushing higher. So I don't want to take a heavy trade on something to go short if the market's moving against it. That being said, I'm now seeing some hesitation on both those measures, and Oracle could very well be a potential short, right? I just don't know which way it's going to go here. It could go up, it could go down. It's one of those where I might like. So, for instance, I take it short here. My stop would be over if it jumps up to about 250 cents, it's about $1 above my entry, then I will just get out of it with a loss. Here I'll take it short with, hopefully we'll get a move down to the low of day. That's the type of thing that ideally I would look for. If we get down to the low of these candles, then I'm going to move my stop to break even, and that way I can just hang on to this, and at least I know I'm in a no risk type trade, right? Because I just don't want to get caught in this thing. It looks like we're bouncing around here, not making a decision, and I don't like that. So I took a pretty small size in this, so it's not a big deal for me one way or the other. But the market, where it looked like it was hesitating and moving to the downside, now it's popping up again. So yeah, this is not exactly what I was looking for. Not an ideal trade setup, but maybe I felt the pressure to entertain you, so I took this trade. I feel like Carlos has to, right? Normally. We'll see what we get. If I get the move, there we go. Okay, so that's the area where I said I'm going to move my stop to break even. So now that we're down here, I move my stop to break even. In fact, if we can get back down to that low, I might just take a partial down there. There, that's where I want to take a partial. So there you go. So I've got a partial on my trade here, and it looks like, ooh, it almost stopped me out. Look at that. You can see that it just about came in. Look, this thing is moving with a lot of. I'm gonna move my stop down a few cents, just so I don't get stopped out too much. So there you go. So I got my first trade of the morning. We got a partial right at the low of those candles, and I'm talking this out loud so you guys can understand. This is sort of how I evaluate my trades and how I'm looking for, right? I want sort of very specific setups. If I see them, I can take the trade, and you know, if this thing stops me out, so be it, right? I usually keep my stops very tight. It reduces my risk and lowers it. You know, if I get now to, like I said, low of the morning, which looks like we're heading to right now, there you go. I'm going to take another partial. So there you go. I got another partial down here at that low. This is great. And now I can start using those daily levels that we'd set up to see where we're going to go. So on the daily chart, remember I had this all the way down here. I mean, I'd love to get a $10 move down to the 188.88. I don't know that that's realistic, but maybe down here I can put a level that I could look at right around here, 194. Ugh, that feels like a long way away too. 195, 194. Yeah, I'm not sure that's going to happen. We'll see what happens. I'm in this. If it comes back, actually, I'm going to move my stop down a few cents like I did earlier. If it comes back up and stops me out, then so be it. Jose, you repeated my felt the pressure to entertain you. Yeah, I guess a little bit, but it wasn't a bad trade. It's just, you know, it wasn't one that I had a lot of confidence in. So as you can see, I'm in it now. I've got my two partials so far. We'll see what happens. Like I said, if I get stopped out, I'll just let it take me out. And it looks like it's heading that way. I only see orders to the top side. Let me check Trading Terminal, see what it looks like. Trading Terminal actually looks good. Not a lot of volume here. Look how relatively light the volume is on Trading Terminal, but all of the orders you can see here are to the downside, right? They're on the so it looks like it should drop. Like ideally we should get a move downwards, but the volume is so light that it just may not pay a lot of attention to that. So we'll see what we get. I'll obviously keep an eye on that. I'm hopeful. You guys are watching a couple things. You're watching what? Open? What is Open doing? Yeah, Open. Oh, yeah, Open moved a little higher. Now it's back down again. Oracle back down here at the low of day. So we're getting a decent. Hopefully we can get lower. Again, for this to be worthwhile, I want a good move. I'm looking for a couple of dollars to the downside. Gotta fix my keyboard. I knocked the foot off of it somehow. Oh, there we go. All right. All right. So just sticking around here in Oracle, watching this trade, see if it's going to work. It looks like NVDA is getting a little bit of a move lower here. And like I said, I watch these market indices. See how they're pushing lower? So that seems to be helping things move as they push down. It's helping some of our trades move lower. Now, you know, Oracle's not really moving with a lot of aggression, is it? I'm only like $1 into this, and again, I was looking for a multi-dollar move, so I really want more of a move. Tesla went higher this morning. If anybody traded Tesla long, you might have got a decent move. You'd had to have gotten in pretty early, but all right, just keeping still watching. Come on, Tesla. Oh, well, Chris, that's awesome. Tesla call worked out. Excellent. It's good. Fortunately, we're bouncing back up here on Oracle. So this shows me, like we sort of, like I warned you, if you will, or we mentioned this morning, um, it feels lighter. Volume feels lighter. If I look at the average volume on a lot of things, I look at the what's called the R-vol, the relative volume. We're only sitting about 50% on a lot of things. Tesla's trading at 69% its average volume. Apple's at 48%. Even Google's the one thing that's actually trading over its average volume at 115%. Oracle's trading at 133%, so at least it's in play. And this SMX. That's no good. Clear Spark, sorry, I always get that wrong, is actually trading at twice its average volume. So that's something. Here we are. We're finally getting a little bit of a move down on Oracle. Now, I don't have a lot of faith now in this thing going too far. So I think with this hesitation, I'm going to take another partial here. Move my stop to break even. I didn't even get as good a partial as I wanted. I was trying to get around 197.80. I only got filled at basically 197.99. So, yeah, that's not quite as good as I was hoping. All right, so Arval, I get it out of DOS Trader Pro. I have it on my screen here. So let me pop out this list for you. Here's the list I keep of tracking stocks. What is happening? And you guys can see on the screen how I have the RVol right front and center, right? It's one of the top things I look at. Shows me what the relative volume is of everything. So that's what I look at. The heck, why can't I? Move that back in. All right. So, what are we doing here on Oracle? Yeah, Oracle's moving pretty slow. What are gold and silver doing? Gold this morning moved a little higher. How about silver? Crazy silver, all-time highs, $50 on this ETF anyways. I don't know what the actual price of silver is. This is just a relative representation, so. All right, so looking pretty good on Oracle. Again, still could get stopped out. I like the fact that my stop is coming, or the VWAP is actually coming down to meet my average price. That's good. That's good, because that means I've got a better chance of staying in this. But this is the type of thing that we often see on these days with lower volume. Again, the overall market indices are only trading at about 40% their average volume. And this means you get this type of whipsaw action, right? So we moved up, right? We were trading below the VWAP. We moved up and then down for 4 minutes, and now we're heading right back up. So, the right back up is not good for my trade. It means that Oracle looks like it's just following these market indices this morning. But it's just going to hang out. Hopefully hang out here, not spike higher. That would be what I would hope for. Then I might be able to ride this trade for, a couple hours. Be great. I got into this trade at 9:30, 3? If I could hold it till about 11:30, maybe we can get sort of just a sell-off over the course of the day today. What else? What else we got going on? Anything you guys are watching? Intel? You say Intel's going nicely? What's Intel up to? Oh, wow, yeah. Wow, that is a good move on Intel. Actually, you know what? I forgot to watch Micron here. Micron is not looking all that good. It is, it was, wow, down and up and down. Yeah, see, that's the type of movement I don't like on Micron too much. Not the type of thing I want to see. So, all right. But Intel, nice move higher on Intel. I like the look of that. And what else? Coin? Sure, let's check out Coin. Let's bring up Coin here. What's Coin doing? Ooh. Yeah, so it's gone higher now. This would have been really hard. Like, I don't know how I would have traded. There's no way I could have traded this because that's a big red candle on big volume right at the opening minute, and then it sort of slowly came back up to shoot higher. If you got a trade on it, congrats to you because it would have proved very difficult to me. But yeah, it's what's the RVol on Coin? 144%. So it's actually trading some decent volume today. I guess it makes sense, right? These ones in this space that we talked about, the Clean Spark, Coin, Mara, MSTR, they're all trading over their average volume for today. So yeah, it looks like they're decently in play. Looks like I may not be getting another move on Oracle. I'm still sitting in this trade. Again, it might just come stop me out. If so, then I'm just going to let it. I'm hopeful that it's going to reverse course and head lower. Kumar, you're looking at Google. Let's look at, whoops, here it is, Google. Hey, see, that's another hard trade for me, right? This sort of move up and then a big move down. I mean, if you were watching it and saw the momentum and saw the trade opportunity on it, then good on you. It would have been a tough one for me. Not the type of thing that I can typically trade. Someone is talking about AMD, so I like AMD. Oh, well, I sometimes like AMD. That is very choppy on AMD this morning. That's hard. It's a tough one. Well, I'm just about to get stopped out on Oracle. Keep thinking it's going to go there. The longer the volume, the longer the price stays below my entry, obviously, and I can stay in this, the better, because that's going to move the VWAP down, right? And I like that VWAP to be comfortably below the price that I'm trading at. Big gains in SMX. I know we did look at SMX. I see you mentioning that. Look at SMX. Look at... I got to update my chart here. Let me update my chart and show you. It's already been halted twice this morning, right? We're only 18 minutes into this market, and it's already halted twice. You can see by just the little dashed lines in a row. So yeah, super volatile stock, very high risk. I mean, obviously, this thing is up 127%, 8 million shares traded. So it's in play, but it's a low float. Actually, I don't even know what the float is, but I mean, it's trading like a low float. What is the float on it? Let's see here. Looks like the listed float is less than 1 million shares. So yeah, this thing is super high risk trade. So careful if you're looking at SMX for a trade opportunity. So you get my shoes here. Standing desks are good, but I find I need to put my shoes on or my feet start to hurt. CRCL is something you're also looking at. Let's see what CRCL is doing for you guys. Wow, that's now that's making a good move. Look at that, all green candles as it's moving higher. Interesting move. Yeah, see this. It looks like you got to pick a stock or two to watch, and you just got to really focus in on it and see if it's going to give you a move or an opportunity. It's. This all looks very tough to me. Very tough. So I'm not seeing anything else that I would jump into. I mean, right now, I wouldn't even get into the trade that I'm in. You know, it's one of those. You know, would I enter it if I wasn't in it now? Absolutely not. This Oracle trade. Right? I mean, look at how choppy this is in this area. This could just go either way. This could either spike up and stop me out, or we might go down and make a new low of day. Like, I can't tell you at this point. I have no idea which direction this thing is likely to go. But I'm already in the trade, so I might as well hang on here, right? Because there might be an opportunity to go lower. Now, what I won't do is I won't add to the trade. You know, there's no real momentum or direction. There's no incentive from my point of view to really add into this, because all it'll do is it'll move my average price closer into the price action, and I can't really afford that. I'm already, right inside the price action almost, and I'm barely above it here. Now the VWAP has moved below my average price, which my average price, by the way, is actually 199.28. So you can see I put my stop about 3 cents under my actual average price, but that's just to hopefully give me a little bit of room. It's probably not going to be enough to cover the spread, because I see the spread is about 6 to 20 cents here. So really, if I wanted to be protectionist, I should put my stop about 20 cents below my entry, but that definitely would put me inside the price action, and I don't want to be in there. So I'll take a risk. I may lose a few cents when I get stopped out. You never know. You never know where you're going to get filled, right? You can sort of get filled anywhere within the spread. So you tried to short MRVL for a loss. Well, I'm sure you weren't trying for the loss, but you ended up with a loss. Let's see what Marvell. This one that I find is a tough. It's a tough stock to trade on the best of days. Today, it looks like it had a good move. Again, understanding that move was going to happen, I wouldn't have been able to predict that. So, it's like a few of these things that you guys have pointed out. CRCL, it makes me think of CRCL. Like, what? How would you predict this move, right? It looks like a great move higher, but if you were watching this, you're like, man, this thing is just chopping, right? And then suddenly it just takes off. Maybe if you're a high of day break trader, you could have waited for it to break through here at 75.50 area and said, okay, I'm going to go long. I mean, it's easy in hindsight. It's not so easy, real time when you're watching things, I've found. Look at this sudden drop on Micron. Micron dropping. And this shows, like, again, look at the market indices, right? So we're very choppy. Keep in mind, this is a very tight range, right? We're up, we're down, we're up, we're down, up, we're down. Like, this is just very, very choppy. So yeah, not loving the price action. So there you go. I finally got stopped out in Oracle. It finally came through my stop, and I actually got a pretty good fill. I got filled at 199 24.5 cents. So I got filled half a cent below where my stop was, which is actually good. That's very good. And you can see it clearly, it doesn't matter where I'd put my stop on that spectrum. Once it broke through heavy. And, I didn't get any more moves. So I'm okay with that, right? Little trade for me. I followed my rules. Whether I made money or not, it is really irrelevant to say. At least I stuck to my rules. I called the trade for you guys. I stuck to it. So that's okay. I'll take that, right? And that may be the only thing I get to trade today. I don't know. I mean, it is a choppy day, like we've been saying. I'm looking at these market indices, and they are just up and down, back and forth, back and forth. So, don't be forcing anything. If you're lucky enough to be trading one of the things that are moving, like, CRCL that we were looking at, then great. But don't jump into something thinking you're going to get the next CRCL, the next move, right? It may not happen. Even in NVDA, I know in our chat room, Brian, I'm listening to him. He's trading NVDA, and he's got stopped a couple of times. This thing got choppy on him, and right, he's trying to get a short. He got a short right off the open, and look, he got the short off the open, but it didn't continue, did it? It bounced back, and he tried to go short again here, and it bounced back on him. So it's just, you can get caught. So. Wow, Google. Again, the move looks interesting on the chart, but real time, I don't know how I would have traded that. I just wouldn't have been able to. Okay. What else you guys got out there? Bim Paris, you jumped into Intel. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's true. We did look at Intel, and it was moving higher. Jumped into Intel for a slow grind up based on Atlas. Okay. Jose, I'm not in the U.S., so I didn't have a feast yesterday. I had a salad for dinner. That's what my wife wanted to eat, so we just had salads. Just the two of us. Watched a couple episodes of a show. Very quiet. Although I do like a big turkey dinner. I love just a big holiday turkey dinner. But like I said, we had our Thanksgiving a month ago. Yes, I'm in Canada. Oh, Oracle's really popped up here, so. Google. I want to see what Google does here at previous day close. Looks like it's getting some support bouncing off of that previous day close. Wow. See, credit to you. If you took a short Pivot Pirate, you're saying you took a short on Google from 325. Target 316, that's a little aggressive. I mean, it could. That's a big move you're targeting. A $9 move? Probably would have been targeting the previous day close, because like you're seeing here, this is typically an area where things tend to like to bounce. So. Caesar salad is fire? You like a good Caesar salad? I find most restaurants put too much dressing on the Caesar salad for my liking. Like I don't want my lettuce to be so heavily laden with dressing that it's like it looks wilted. Like we can go lighter. Anyways. That's my wife's fault. I used to put a lot of dressing on things, and over the years and decades, she's convinced me to have a lot less dressing. And at first I'm like, this is dumb. I don't like it. I can actually taste the vegetables. And then I've learned it's actually pretty good. You want a little bit of flavor in there, but you don't need to like drown it in dressing. Caesar soup, yeah. Actually, I was at a restaurant the other day, last week, and I had a Caesar and a Caesar salad. I thought that was entertaining. Now, you guys don't have Caesars. If you're in the U.S., a Caesar is a drink. Does anybody know what a Caesar as a drink is? Who knows what a Caesar is? Yeah. Of course. See, no idea. If you're in the U.S., you would know. Basically, it's a Canadian version of a Bloody Mary. But instead of a Bloody Mary, which uses tomato juice, yeah, we use clam juice, clamato. So, and you can get, they're much more flavor in it. You got to put some spices. You put some Tabasco in there, some clamato, maybe a little olive juice, some vodka. Delicious. You had one last night, Ryan, my man. Well done. Well done. You know what I'm doing tonight? A friend of mine's having a birthday party, And it's at the Hard Rock. So we're going to the Hard Rock Casino, which just opened recently here in my area. They took over an old racetrack. So they got dog races at it. So they kept the racetrack for the dog races, but they built a whole casino complex around it. So there's like a Friday night dance party that we're going to. The pickled bean, yeah, you got the pickled bean melody in it. That's a good signature move there. I like that. Yeah, the best Caesars are usually the ones where they've got like the celery stick that's fully loaded. So you get the celery with the toothpick through it, and you got olives on it, and pickles, and you get like and the bean, and you like it's like a whole salad in there. It's awesome. I got some pickled beans that I keep here that are quite good. Local company that makes them. So Google, hey, I might have been wrong on your target of 316 on Google. Look at this, we're down another $2 to 318 as it dropped previous day close. So you're getting a move. I thought you were a little overly aggressive, but I mean we'll see. You have to see whether it's going to get there, but it's looking a lot better now than it was just 2 minutes ago. Oh, there you go, Brad. Yeah. Well, now you got like a whole meal going on there. A shrimp and a bacon. That's all sounding awesome. Mm. Now you guys are making me hungry. It was invented in Calgary. I didn't know that. Wow. Okay. A Julius Caesar, like the orange juice, an orange Julius. Mm. All right. Well, guys, I'm still watching the market, waiting to see if there's perhaps a trade opportunity. As you know, I took only the one trade this morning. I was short on Oracle. As you can see now, I mean, Oracle is anything but a short. As it's moving higher, it really punched up through the VWAP there and was really taken off. So, good move higher. Um, I'm not along for that ride. I didn't reverse my position. That's something I want to do. One of the things we were watching from this morning, Micron, very choppy. Look at Micron bouncing up and down here. So not a good trade opportunity there. What else? NVIDIA was something that I said I always like to watch. And you can see NVIDIA's not very interesting, actually. It's not really bouncing a lot, but it's just not very interesting. AMD is bouncing. And while it's gone higher, this is tough. That is tough chop. So, yeah, it definitely looks like one of those days where you got to be extra careful, like we warned you about. Like, just look at the market indices, right? This is the definition of chop in a range. So, we set a range right now, right here on the Qs, for example, from 615.40 up to 617.40, roughly. So, $2 range. Most of it being almost in the middle of that. So, you got to be careful about getting caught in these things. Even Tesla, which looked like it was going to make some early moves, it moved higher and it dropped. Now look at it; it's very quickly back in a range. So as I told you, we might see the volume drop off and things become range bound very quickly. But you can also get big volatile moves, especially on things that have low relative volume. So Tesla trading at 66% its average volume. PLTR, for example, trading at only 40% its average relative volume. NVIDIA's at 68, AMD's at 60, and like I said, the market indices overall, the SPY and the Qs are only at a 40% roughly. So yeah, it's pretty... looks like it's a tough morning, I think, overall. So if you've got a winning trade, then congrats to you. It's going well. You should be happy with that. Don't force anything, right? Don't think because you got a winner there that you can start taking all sorts of trades and that you're invulnerable. It's you can get stopped. This is my day. This day makes me think of where's my buddy? There he is. There's my choppy market guy. Here he is. He's chopping things up. Market's all very choppy this morning. There he is. So see what. Let's check in on Tesla here. Tesla's dropping a little bit. Mm, mm, mm. Intel, big candle up. Yeah. Oh, so now here's an interesting. So Intel just moved up on big volume. Look at the big volume candle and the actual volume move. I like to take sort of parabolic reversals on these things when that happens, because often you get exactly what you saw here, right? It spiked through the whole dollar number at 39, only went a few cents higher. Now you're getting a pullback, and you never know. This pullback might not last more than a few more seconds, or it might last a couple of minutes. That type of pullback, if I'd seen it a little bit earlier, I might have tried to take a parabolic reversal again to entertain you guys. But you can't chase it here because, again, you just don't know how far it's going to move, right? So it's not something you want to risk and jump into. I mean, it might move all the way back down to the VWAP, for example, but it's not worth the risk because from here to the high is 40 cents. From here to the VWAP is only 40 cents, right? So when you got an equivalent range move, it's that risk to reward is horrible. Right, so this is one where I would, I'd be taking it with like 10-cent risk or less, which means I have to have got in around 39. Then it would have been a good risk to reward trade. But yeah, thanks for pointing it out. I wasn't fast enough to try and take one of my signature parabolic reversals on it, but somebody told me his name was Choppa or something related to chopping. I didn't even know that when I first started using that picture. But then when somebody mentioned it, and then I actually started to notice that if you actually look in detail at his necklace there, I'm trying to see what that says. Chops a lot, I think. Chopslata? I don't know. Whoever this guy is. Anyways, it's just a good little gift for choppy markets. It entertains me, anyways. As AI, it could be. I don't know. I've had it for several years, at least 5 years or so. So that generally predates most of the commonly available AI tools. It could be AI. I don't know. I don't know. But it's old enough that it might not. Let's see. When did I? Let me look at the properties on this. 2020. So I got this file October 16th, 2020 is when I downloaded it. So I've had it for 5 years on my computer. So again, that doesn't mean it's not AI. It just means it would have been pretty good AI for 2020. All right. Keeping an eye here on the markets. Again, this Intel, the more I look at it, the more I like that short, that parabolic reversal short would have been good. Again, still not chasing it. Not going to get into it. But thank you for pointing it out. Whoever mentioned this, Intel is interesting. BIM Paris, I think you mentioned it, but I said I didn't jump on it in time to take advantage of that volume candle move. We'll see where this goes. What else we got? Yeah, really pretty choppy. Yikes, yikes, yikes. I'll be interested to see if there's what they've got at the casino for games. I'm a big Texas Hold'em poker player, but I don't think I'll get the time to play Texas Hold'em. You need, you know, it's not one of those games where you can just sit down and play a hand. I'm going long Google. Oof, let's see, what's Google up to? I don't know if it's time to be long Google. I don't know what it's doing, but I mean, it could be, but I just don't know. I don't see any. I don't see any particular indication that it's long bias. See what Atlas tells me. Yeah, Atlas has got a bunch of orders down at 317. I don't see many orders anywhere else other than that, so may not be. Yeah. So you took a short on Uber. What is Uber up to? Uber, I see. You're trying to get the reversal off of the high. A little bit of a volume spike near the high there. Yeah, not ideal. Interesting. Well, I'm interested to see where Google goes. If it gets down to that 316 that was being targeted. What is that? You know, what was that low float that we were looking at earlier? SMX. Let's see what SMX is. See, look at this. So SMX now it's been halted 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. And it looks like it's in a 5th halt right now. God, what a move though. Up 208% now at this halt. And it was going higher when it got halted. Oof. These types of stocks, these are so panic-inducing. I don't know how people trade these things. I mean, I guess you could, if you're good at it, you can, you know, if you develop a strategy, you can and make some money off of it. I mean, when you get a $20 move like this, it's hard to suggest you're doing something wrong. But $20 move where you'd have to have suffered through at least 2 halts, that's hard. And you would have had to get into the stock when it's already up 120%. You know, it's up 120% and you're looking for a move to 200%. I just, like, my brain has trouble computing that. I'm also looking at this is not shortable, so you can only trade it to the long side. Ugh, that's too crazy for me. Too crazy for me. Look at that, eh? That Intel that we were talking about. So it did end up moving lower. Again, that parabolic reversal trade would have been great. Imagine if we got it with a 10-cent risk right near the top. You know, you'd be 50 cents into it. So you're sitting on a 5-to-1 right now. It's can likely go down to the VWAP, which would be at least another 10 cents. Gives you, you know, now it's 6-to-1. Great. Great type of move. You don't need huge moves sometimes. What you need is a good risk to reward ratio. That's sort of how I manage my trades anyways and how I look at it. So all right. Usually what happens in day 3 is what you're after. Well, then, yeah, you're going to have trouble on this one isolated day between holidays, right? Apple reversal? I don't know. Let's take a look at Apple. What's Apple up to? Oh, see, Apple just looks choppy to me. I don't have any strategy that would give me an indication of what to do in Apple here. Like, I don't know. It just looks like it's going sideways to me. That water's really cold. Oh, man. Oof. Boy, guys, it is fairly quiet. I'm running out of good things to look at because it's most everything is just going sideways. Hmm. Apple, yeah, just it's going sideways here. Google, Google bounced off that low. No volume in it, but yeah, I don't know, guys. I don't know at all where anything is going. I see in the Bearable Trading chat room, people are calling out Netflix. Oh yeah, Netflix is getting a little bit of a move. Maybe expecting a big watching weekend. Google bull flag on the 1 hour. Really? On Google? Hmm. Let's see. Let's take a look at a 60-minute chart here. That definitely looks. 1 minute chart looks very bearish to me. Although it's in this area. It's in a bounce area. Again, 316. See, that seems very aggressive. Anyways. Let's see what it does. Brian in the chat room is taking what his signature 920 trade on Intel, which has him using moving averages. Moving averages on a 2-minute chart. So he would watch it bounce off of the 20 moving average and expect to move up to the 9. So on a 2-minute chart, it looks like it roughly did. He got a decent move. Intel. Again, we would have taken the earlier. I would have taken the earlier parabolic reversal had I been staring at it, but an Oracle reversed course, didn't it? Reversed course and gunned higher. Should have just reversed my position, gone long. Maybe I can accidentally be long some shares. No such luck, eh? Doesn't look like I'm accidentally long anything. That's too bad. That would have been nice. You know, sometimes when you're trying to get out of a short and you overbuy and suddenly you're long. It would have been good in this case. It would be a $2 move. It's a bigger move than I got on my actual trade. Oh, well. Is anything down more than 4%? Probably not much. I mean, let's see. I can tell you what the biggest losers are in the market. There are things that are down more than 4%. Tilray. Oh, TLRY. Looks like it's the biggest loser. It's down 21%. That's 80-cent stock. 42 million shares traded. Wow. IMPP. It's down 20%. These are all going to be low floats. Quantum. How about this? This Quantum is down 13%. Right? Quantum Biopharma. But, you can always find isolated things that are down more than that amount, but it doesn't mean it's a good necessarily would have given you a good trade opportunity. SMX. Wow, look at that. After the halt, it's up another $7 into another halt. So basically, this thing must have opened, traded for a few seconds, and then halted again. As I said, if you know how to trade these and you're willing to take the risk, there's some good money to be made. But wow, would this be nerve-wracking. We should watch it. It's about to reopen here. If it reopens on the 5-minute, it should reopen in about 40 seconds. So we'll see when this reopens here in a couple of seconds what it does. I can tell, by the way, if you on my DAS trading platform, it shows the volatility. Let me pop this out. I'll show you what this looks like. See here, this is my level 1 data. I can tell that it paused exactly at 10:15:53. Basically, you just add 5 minutes to that, and I know it should be opening here in about 3 seconds. So we'll see. When it hits the 3-second, it should reopen. There you go. And it reopened right to schedule. So there you go. Now it looks like it's dropping off of this reopen. But yeah, this is crazy trading, isn't it? And it hit the limit down, right? So it reopened, hit the limit down, which is his LD number at 54, and it looks like it's halted again. Wow. So it looks like it was 2 minutes here, right? Because there's 2 candles. But we know it opened at 20:53, which means, and it halted again at 21:17. So this thing was open for 24 seconds before it rehalted again. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah, this is why, as I said, these things are so hard to trade, in my opinion. I don't... And you can only trade it to the long side. I click on it. It says it's not shortable. It's hard to borrow, right? So, yeah, these are the ridiculously difficult stocks to trade, in my opinion. So, yeah, I mean, you could try get in a small portion for now. That being said, if now is not the time, right? When you're halted on the downside, you do not want to be chasing this thing ever, because this thing could just keep going down or keep halting to the downside. And when it halts this quickly, you might not have any chance to get out. So you don't want to be doing that. And we've already had, what do we say? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's 6, 7. So this is the 7th halt of the morning. That's now we're well past. Usually it's like the 3rd halt is the warning one, right? That's when it's a warning. Now in this case, that didn't hold for SMX. The first 3 halts are actually relatively innocuous. It was really the 5th, 4th, 5th, and 6th. The 4th and 5th still gave you upside. All right, shorts daily content. We're not going to put up with that. Don't be doing that stuff. I'm going to dignify it. Intel, a mountain pass? That's a good question. Let's take a look at Intel. Yeah. It's a little extended for a 1-minute mountain pass. If I look at it, it's a potential on a 2. I just don't like how far it pulled back to the VWAP. And my experience with Intel is not good about it sticking to my strategies. So probably not today. I wouldn't be trading. It's not strong enough for me to do it today. You are right. Generally, it's following the pattern. It looks okay. I'm just highly suspicious of it, following a standard rule set today, because I just don't know that the right buying and selling pressures would be there for it to do what I would expect it to. So I certainly wouldn't take the risk, because in the short term, if you just isolate this last little movement, right? We got this move higher, a pullback, and a move itself. This to me looks like you could have almost a move to a higher push, right? To a new high of day. And I wouldn't want to risk it. So, so for me, like they would say on Dragon's Den. For those reasons, I'm out. Or Shark Tank. Shark Tank's the US one, right? I think Dragon's Den is the Canadian version. Look up top. No. All right. What's wrong in Tesla? This is probably a big question. Are you talking about the company or the stock? I mean, Tesla's just not doing much today, right? Look at it, just sort of now it's trundling sideways. And it looks like a lot of other things that are just moving sideways. Apple. Yeah, Apple not looking good. LTR not looking good. Even NVDA, it's finally leaning off here a little bit, but that might have been a slow trade where you could see lower highs. Potential opportunity there. But yeah, Brian could join. We should join forces. Let's see. Brian, good morning. Do you want to join forces for a few minutes? I think everybody on YouTube is getting bored with just my voice. Yeah. All right. Good idea, guys. We'll see if we can get Brian over here. Try and get Brian queued up and into... So that way you don't have to look at two of me like this. We could have Brian. All right. Let's see if I can get Brian connected on the old Brian cam. There he is. I see him.
Right.
Can you guys hear him?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Brian. Hopefully everybody can. Let's get you into the chat room.
Good.
Here we are. I think we're back into the chat room as well.
Yeah. We just did a really nice 920 trade on Intel.
I saw that. You got your signature 920. I was telling people about that on YouTube.
Yeah, that worked out really well. And now Intel's just breaking into a new high of day here. But that's really that was almost the picture perfect setup of a 920 trade. In this case, it was a bull 920, a bullish 920, because we had the stock breaking out right at the open. Nice, sort of clean, not too erratic, just constant move higher right through to about, just after 10 o'clock. And then we had that sort of flattening. And that's when always seemed to get some profit taking. And we just watched the 9 and 20 EMA. And because it's had a nice steady run up, the 9 and the 20 have a decent separation between the two, so it makes it for a good setup for a risk to reward. So wait for that pullback to the 20 EMA, and then go long. You stop out just below it, and wait for back through the 9, and then back to high of day. For partials. And then you could even hold a little bit if you really felt like the stock was just going to continue to run. So anyway, it's been a bit of a chop fest today.
Yeah, it's been pretty choppy and pretty tough. I only had one trade. I actually went short Oracle off the open. You can see here I got short and got a few partials, and then it came up and stopped me out when it crossed aggressively through the VWAP. So Yeah, not a great trade, but not a bad one. At least it was green. But yeah, ever since then, I haven't really found anything that I liked. I was actually looking at Intel, but for the short, the parabolic reversal short was something that I was looking at from the high. I just saw it a little bit too late. For me, it would have been a good short right off of here around 10:05, and then I could have got a move lower, but didn't catch it. But our members did call it out, or at least our friends in YouTube. I was too slow, so. You know, you and I like to take opposite sides of those trades in the early on, right? Where I like the parabolic reversal, you wait for the 920 bounce. They both work.
Yeah, so. They both work. Just depends on your trade book, and your expectations, your setup.
Yeah.
So silver is really ripping.
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier. All-time highs for silver. It's a little bit off of the high right now, but still in that territory. If you look at a daily chart, you can see like we are well above anywhere else we've ever been. So go melt down your silver. It's time to sell it.
I have a silver bar here somewhere.
Do you really? He's stockpiling bullion. Bullion? No way. Bouillon? No. We're not making a soup. Bouillon. I don't know how to say it now.
Somebody gave it to me like
bullion
40 years ago, I think. It's see there it is.
Okay. All right.
My it's pretty heavy too. I don't know how many ounces it is. What does it say? Oh, 5 ounces.
Okay.
It's in a nice little package. I shouldn't be showing this to people. I might be a target for burglars.
They're gonna come and rob your house.
Yeah.
Let's see. What's the price for an ounce of silver right now?
I think it's around $45.
Oh, I think I see. Is it? I see 77 here. I don't know if this is an accurate number.
Is it that high?
I'm not sure. Oh no, I see $55.48. Is that right? I mean, I got numbers all over the place. I'm not sure what is correct. 55. Spot price of silver.
Yeah, Let's see. I know. I think.
Yeah, price per ounce. I've got $77.18 seems to be the spot price first.
Rich.
You check. You check and see what.
Yeah, silver. I've got $55 is the futures market. So 55 times 5. That's $275 US. I'm rich.
You can throw it at somebody and hit him with $275.
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go. Right. So there you go. Anyway, but I'm doing better with I've got some silver stocks. I kind of cut my swing positions, but I got back into them this week. I kind of thought looked like we were going to break down, but nope. We decided to continue the move higher. So metals definitely still gold and silver trades still seem to be alive and well. Gold's up, what is it, $20 today? 422.30 or 424,223.
Yes.
Yeah, all the metals are up today. Copper's up. Platinum's up. Platinum's up a lot. Silver's up a lot. Silver's up 3.5%.
Yep.
Oil's up. Oil's up at $59 a barrel. It's kind of back to that 60 level. Natural gas has been pretty strong. We call natural gas the widowmaker because it's just such a volatile volatile commodity.
Well, that's where we had our famous Canadian broker trader, right? That went bankrupt for however many billions right before the reversal. If he just hung on for another month,
Yeah,
he would have been worth $1 trillion or something crazy. But,
yeah.
oh
Sort of like a bad Michael Burry story. He
well.
shorted the
Yeah.
market. He just hung on long enough to be right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
It's
it's just as much about timing, I guess, as anything else.
it
You
always
can be
is.
right, but yeah, but if you haven't got the timing right, the market can be irrational longer than you can stay solvent, as they say.
That is the expression, indeed. Indeed. Oh, Intel. So
So,
Intel. So just whoever was asking about Intel Mountain Pass. So this is exactly the type of move where I said I didn't think it was a good Mountain Pass, and sure enough, we have moved higher in the day. So just as happy I stayed out of that one. But yeah, it's a
because
tough day. Like so much is choppy.
your mountain pass is not. It's not like a. You use it as you're looking for a real trend reversal as opposed to just
Yes.
a short-term pullback, right?
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, it's not really meant for a short-term trade. I mean, it depends on what your timing is, but yeah, it's a trade that takes about 15 minutes to set up. So you're looking for ideally, a 30-minute to 90-minute type move. So yeah, it really is looking at a trend, a trend reversal intraday. Wow.
Yeah.
So guys, I hope whatever you did, if you had a great day, that's awesome. If you did get chopped up a little bit, don't feel too bad. Hopefully you stuck to your rules so far because like we said, it could get into this chop zone fairly quickly. We continue to see volumes pretty relatively low, right? Tesla trading at 67% R vol right now. I still see Amazon, Apple, Netflix all around the 40s. So, it's AMD, Meta, though they're in the 50s. Even Nvidia is only trading 72% its regular volume. So it just means, take it
Yeah.
easy, stay calm. It may not be the day. And yeah, again, we
I,
close at 1. So, there's only 2.5 hours of trading left.
I'm even surprised we're even trading at 70% of the volume. Of course, a
Mm,
lot of it is probably algos. I mean, a lot of the
yeah,
trading is algo trading today.
correct. Yeah.
Probably a much higher percentage because retail traders and uh, the funds and stuff like that are probably less active today. So algos are accounting for a fair amount of volume to begin with. So even more on a percentage basis today because the machines never sleep.
The
They don't
machines never sleep.
they don't complain. They don't take coffee breaks.
Yeah, you know what? Let's do a survey. I'm going to put one in the chat room since we're not going to get one later in the day. Let's see how your guys' days are going. Here you go. Here's your survey.
Yeah.
And yeah, SMX is something we've been watching earlier just because of the craziness. This is the crazy stock of the day. It was up 200%. It's only up 150%. It's now halted for the 8th time this morning. Yeah, eighth time.
Wow.
So 6, 7, and it's just and it's the second time now it's being halted on the way down. So this thing moved. What did it close yesterday or Wednesday? It closed at $17, hit a high of $60 this morning before starting to fall back down here. So yeah, these are just again there
This
are
is
people that
SMX.
specialize. SMX, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There are people that specialize in trading these, not generally us in this community, but it said like there's opportunity. It's too the swings and roundabouts are too big for me. The risk management is just too big for me to get wrap my head
Yeah.
around. So,
I mean, it's easy to look at a chart and see the gain,
mm,
but unlikely you're going to stick in it to see that gain. Um, and and really with those, you're one bad trade away from blowing up your account. I mean, you can make money, but then you just have one trade that you go heavy in, and it just goes against you're sitting there with a big loss.
It
Everything you've made over the last month is gone.
yeah, it only takes
So
one moment of inattention on those stocks for sure to
yeah,
for disaster to strike, doesn't it? So, oh, did I miss a day? Oh, I wasn't here Wednesday. Oh no, so there was one. Raf did the survey on Wednesday. I got to get those results in here. All right, so guys, it looks like thank you for participating in the poll today. It looks like we have yeah, roughly an average day in our chat room. Oh, let me put it on the screen for all those in YouTube. I do this survey regularly, usually in the afternoon. And you can see here this morning, I've got this trade going, and it says that according to this, 42% of our traders in the bareboat trading community are trading live accounts, and they are green. 28% of the live trade or of the total traders are trading live and are red. In a simulator account, 8% are green, 5% red, and then 17 are just watching. So that's that's about average for what we get. I've been doing this survey for many years now. Actually, I've got 975 instances of the survey. So that's how long we've been doing it, and it shows that on average our traders are about 44% green live trading and 27% red. So that's pretty good considering that the industry average is only like, 10%, 10 to 20% maximum make money over the long term. Our members are doing pretty good. So good on you. If you're not one of the ones that's in the green, don't worry. Like we said, it is a tough day. So, I don't want you to
yeah.
don't be beating yourself up too much. What the heck is this?
So we should, you take a poll and see who thinks the U.S. is going to invade Venezuela. There's always something interesting going on in the world
Hmm.
these days.
That there is.
So I'm looking at some of the options positioning for today. The zero DTE calls and puts at a pretty big straddle here, right around 68.40 on SPX. 68.50, big call wall. That's sort of an area where you'd expect if we did start to break out. I'd watch the SPY 682.32. If we been an area we've rejected from twice now. That's pre-market high. If we break through there, we could easily go a little bit higher here. So definitely some buying in the market.
Mm.
NVIDIA may have found a bit of a bottom there at 177.
Maybe you
I'm
got.
not inclined to take another trade right now.
I hear you. Nor am I. I see. Let's see. What have we got here? Keeping an eye on Google because I know we had someone saying they were trying to take Google for a big long short from 325 all the way down to 316. They got most of the way. Definitely looks like it's hitting some support down here at
Excuse me.
317.50.
Yeah, Google was quite interesting. Really, it's had such an amazing run. I think there was just some profit taking today for sure.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, what else we got? Do we keep track of how many percentage of the people in the chat room respond? Watermelon, I do not. No. So I don't know what that is a percentage of people in the room. Probably of all the people that are typically logged in, the number of responses is somewhere around 20%. But that's just a guesstimate on my part. I mean, it is a completely non-scientific survey, right? I've got no way to audit the results. However, they've been extraordinarily consistent considering I've been doing it since 2017. No, whenever I started
Yeah,
that survey.
yeah, we've got quite a lot of data. Actually, that's amazing.
It's uh, it's always fascinating for me when you do data analysis how uh, inaccurate data is inaccurate, but if you have a lot of inaccurate data, it actually can create accuracy. So, gotta love
Mhm.
statistics. so,
Yeah,
so I have a wealth of inaccurate data that is pretty accurate. So,
awesome.
all right, so yeah, whatever you're trading, there's still things. I can't say there's nothing moving. It's just not big setups that
Right.
I normally look for.
Well, and this is the problem now. I said I wasn't going to trade again, and then this Intel trade showed up, which I had flagged earlier before when it started just topping around 10 o'clock. So so that was a setup that definitely was interested in, and I saw it when I saw it pulling back there to the 20 EMA. But right now, I'm not seeing anything um, that's making me get excited about doing any kind of an entry. Although PAAS, this silver just continues to rip here.
Pan American Silver.
They're loving silver today.
Mm. Yeah, I usually watch SLV is the ETF I like to watch for silver
Yeah,
just to see where it's at. And
I watch
it's
PAS, and it's the one that's showing up on the scanner quite a bit here. The
PAAS. Is that what
PAS, I believe, yeah, PAAS, I believe
Okay.
they don't actually own mines; they just have an interest in the output of the mines.
Oh yeah. Oh,
So they
okay.
they benefit when the miners typically benefit more um, than if the price of the commodity goes up, the miners benefit as dollar. Let's just think of it as profitable dollar
Whoa.
increase in the commodity dollar that goes to their bottom line. That leveraged to uh,
So,
to the price than the actual price of the commodity itself. AMD is dropping.
yeah, I'm not sure if other people. I was getting some chop there when you were talking, but it might have just been on my side. No one else mentioned anything.
OKLO is going it's getting some interest today.
Hmm. Yeah, it's moving higher.
Yeah, it seems to be trying to find a bottom here. Last Over the last week or so, we had a couple of sell-offs and bounces back. So low 79, higher low 81. Is Reddit going today?
Go Reddit.
Netflix seems to have found a bottom around 104 on the daily.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay, so SPY is now breaking high of day here.
Oh, so it is.
That's
Look at that.
interesting.
Breaking a little higher. Pan American Silver. Now you got me curious as to what Pan American Silver does. The world's premier silver producer. Well, according to their website, Brian, they say we own and operate silver and gold mines located throughout the Americas.
Okay. Okay. I thought at one point they were just buying, they go and sort of buy the output of silver mines.
I mean, I'm sure they do that as well. A lot of the larger producers tend to do that because they can get, or
Yeah.
they buy the raw ore and then because they've got the refineries or whatever. But I don't know.
Yeah. No, yeah. Thought they were more of a royalty model, but okay.
I
Anyway.
don't know. I can only tell you what their website says. So, hmm. Jewelry and silverware. According to their website, the silver demand of the global supply, 82% comes from mine production, 18% comes from recycling old silver, and silver is used primarily here. This is interesting. In industrial, 49% of all silver is used in industrial settings.
Yeah. Yeah. They they call it they do call it the poor man's gold.
Jewelry and
Um,
silverware,
but yeah,
photography.
it's got a number of industrial applications. Like I think they use a fair amount of silver in production of um, voltaic cells, like photovoltaic cells, the um, solar solar panels.
Right. Yeah, makes sense. Batteries and electronics, health. They
Yep,
say,
batteries.
oh, water purification. That's true. I forgot about that. Yeah, they use it a lot to as part of a purification process. There you go. All right. See, you learn something new every day about the world. Any plans for the weekend, Brian?
Well, yes, I'm about to get on a plane here to
Oh,
get
that's
head
right. You're also going.
to Thailand. Yes.
Yes, I am.
So,
I
which is
am jealous of all of you. So it should be a lot of fun.
well, Peter, we're almost surprised you weren't going to attend with us.
Yeah, well, so am I. But I made a promise to my spouse, so I will honor that. And this time I'm sitting it out.
Okay.
So,
Well, my spouse asked if your spouse was going.
oh, okay. Well,
She was very disappointed to hear that she wasn't going.
oh, okay. Well, maybe I'll have to. Let's see if I can get a last minute flight out.
Yeah.
Then I hate to disappoint anyone. It's funny.
Yeah.
It is one of the things I was saying earlier. I did look at the flights. I'm like, because everybody starts leaving. You're going, and I'm like, oh man, like I want to go. And I'm flight, and it's like 40 hours of travel. 29, I think 22
Yeah.
is the shortest I could find, and even that I'm like, my God, that doesn't include the pre-airport time. So you're looking at
Yeah. Yeah.
a full 24 hours of travel minimum. I'm thinking that seems like a lot.
Yeah, you're literally on the opposite side of the globe, I think.
And it doesn't seem to be quite as convenient as some other places. Like I used to fly from Canada to Australia, and I guess the flights are just more frequent. So, especially being that you're not going to Bangkok, right? Are you flying right into Koh Samui, the
No, no,
the regional
no.
airport?
No, we've no. I did manage to get a flight direct to Bangkok from Vancouver, which is a new thing because
Okay.
usually you'd have to go through Hong Kong or Singapore or Japan. But no, Air Canada has a direct flight to Bangkok, so 16 hours,
Wow.
16 hours in a pod. Yeah, no, I think there was some heavy rain and flooding, I think, in some areas, but yeah, when I saw that, I looked at seems like it's still the weather's going to be nice all next week. So I know it'll be a point if it's pouring rain because that's get out of the rain.
Yeah, that suck.
Qs are right at high of day again here. Big rejection right there.
Yeah, yeah.
Tesla's NVDA just rejected at the view. Intel is still chugging along here, still making a new high of day. I think it's probably going to go to $40.
See what Intel's up to here. Oh yeah, looks like it's getting close. Let's see what the trading terminal tells us. How stacked are these orders to the top side here on Intel? Oh, let's see. Yeah, a lot of orders sitting at 40.
Yeah, there are some big orders sitting at 40 for sure.
Well, we'll see. Even more orders sitting up at 42. So I don't know if it's going to go that high today, but that would be certainly a short-term high. I don't think it's all-time high. I think Intel's well down from its all-time highs, but oh man, well down. You're forgetting how far
Yeah,
Intel has fallen, while its peers have, been skyrocketing higher.
yeah, yeah. It's kind of funny how many years ago it was you can get a computer with AMD with an AMD processor and or you could get a one with an Intel processor and nobody wanted the if you wanted to try to save money, you'd get the one with the AMD processor
Right. Yeah, it was the poor man's
because nobody
processor.
wasn't. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Now it's
Yeah,
kind
but
of the other way around.
and it marks the difference between the primary processor. It used to be all about the CPU and your CPU clock speed, and
Yeah.
then obviously NVIDIA's
True.
really taken over as GPUs. The graphical processing focus has taken over.
Yeah.
And we were talking about this last week. The new term I wasn't familiar with, anyways, is the TPU. So Google's getting
Yeah.
big into
Yeah.
the what do they call their tensor processing units. So
Yes.
these this I don't know if that's going to be like really sort of the big new thing and or not, but it's interesting. Feels like the
Yeah.
terminology's shifting a bit.
It seems like it. Yeah, I've heard this TPU terminology now. It's seems to be a new thing.
All the kids are using them. Uh, your laptop has an AMD, but you built yeah. I've got the same thing, Chris, between my different platforms. I think mine are both Dell, and I think I can't remember now. I know that on my desktop I've got a mix of uh, AMD and Intel. On the laptop, I don't even know. Let's find out. A boot my PC. No, it's Intel. I think it's just the my graphical card. The graphical card's an AMD on my desktop. I got two AMD graphical cards on my desktop, and my laptop's an NVDA. Both are running Intel CPUs. So, in any event.
All right.
Snapdragon.
Well, I think I am going to wrap it up and start thinking about packing, actually.
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, you need to pack that
Yes.
Speedo. Gotta- you just need a tiny carry-on bag, Brian. You know, you're going to the beach.
That's
What do you
right.
need?
That's all you need.
So, enjoy, travel safe. Hopefully, we'll
Yes.
see all of
Will
you.
do.
Carlos is going to be try and join us live from the resort to do the pre-market show. So I'm hoping, I don't know if it's going to be a common area or where he's going to go, but I'm hoping to see people in the background having fun. Should be a lot of fun. So enjoy. And
Hmm. Yeah.
sorry that I'm not going.
Yeah. I think we're all going to have a good time. I think there's about 48 of us going.
Yeah,
So, Peter, we'll miss you. I remember our last trip in Colombia, you over sitting in the corner there doing your pre-market show.
yeah,
So with the beautiful view of the tropical forest behind you.
yeah.
So
It was pretty awesome.
yeah, but we'll see you from there probably.
Okay.
So take care, everyone. Thanks. Yeah, we'll hopefully have a safe trip, and yeah, we'll see everybody from Thailand hopefully in the next week, Monday.
Yeah. Look forward to it.
All right. Yep. Cheers, everyone. Have a good weekend.
Later, later, Brian. All right. So with that, Brian is departing us and leaving for the day. And guys, with it being sort of a pseudo holiday, we have a lot of our U.S. members, especially, enjoying time with family and friends, which they should be, or they're jumping on planes and going to travel. So for those that are traveling to Thailand, we wish you a good, safe journey. Again, this is a Bearable Traders community event. There's a whole bunch of traders that have been invited. They bought tickets to it. It's always a great deal. Andrew throws in a lot of money to make it a fantastic time. We were in Colombia this time last year, and it was absolutely amazing. So I know that Thailand's going to be a great trip. We'll be here, though. Don't worry. The show must go on. I'll be here back in the home office. And we said hopefully Carlos will be joining us live to do the pre-market show. That should be a lot of fun. One way or the other, we're going to get this show going. And I know that, I don't think I'm going to have another guest here. I don't think that Thor or anybody is joining for today. With that, then, we're going to cut our feed shorter, a little faster than normal. We're going to give you guys a little bit of time back in your life so that you can enjoy. And I know in the chat room, Gary's going to be taking over, so we'll let him do that. Let me just cut off there. And here, I wish you guys a very happy pseudo holiday. Whatever you choose to do with the rest of the day. Remember, the markets close at 1, so that's just under 2 hours from now. So you're not going to get a lot of trading between now and then. I think volumes are going to continue to drop, and you're just going to see presumably lower volatility. You never know, right? Your volatility could actually increase with the lower volumes, but I think for the most part things are going to go relatively quiet. So take care, trade smart, whatever you do. Thanks so much for being here with us. Give us a thumbs up and a like. It helps the channel a lot, and we deeply appreciate it. And we'll see you back here Monday morning from both of me. There you go. So from both of me, I wish you a good weekend. Have a great weekend, everybody. Have a good one. And we'll see all of you back Monday morning for the pre-market show. Take care, everybody.